All right, so we are just about at the bottom. We can see it now.
I'm easing off. Can you bring my sonar in a little bit?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Stopping the winch.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Delta 20. That's all right. It's just gonna blow past.
You want 50 meters?
So you just keep it at
Or
Delta
even
20. That looks good. And
30 or 50 meters?
30 is good for now.
Okay. You want me to change that sensitivity there?
Yes, please.
Come left, turn left with you.
All right. Come out of auto heading. I am. You can stay in. Sorry.
Copy.
This looks like.
Might winch up a little bit.
No, you're all right. You're good. You're good.
Okay.
You can come down if anything. But you're all right. I'm still pushing down.
Topography is a little different than
Yeah.
maps.
Yeah, for sure.
Slightly off what we're reading, 2970, and we should be at 30. Yeah, it's like
Well, we definitely landed on volcanics. That's good.
it's a bit off.
That's what we were hoping to do.
But once again, not that much.
Pilots, I'm going to say bailout plan's the same,
You don't
and I
know
was
what
going to
you'll
go over
find
with
today.
bridge, make sure they're
But
We definitely
Okay.
saw Colafake a sponge earlier.
bridge nav.
and what's down there in the bottom right of
And
the?
then I'm thinking that's a
I see it.
sponge stalk with.
Is that a brittle star at the bottom?
No, I'm thinking it's a
Bridge, ROV nav.
Brazingid.
Brazingid.
Yeah.
Brazingid sea star. Two of them, one wrapped onto a sponge stalk and one on a rock.
RV Nav, you trying to contact the
So we
bridge?
definitely
Yes,
see
sir.
a moderate
What can I do for
sediment
you?
cover. At
I just
least.
want to let you know that we are
We're
on
looking at
bottom,
pillow-
and our
or not
bailout
pillow
plan
tables, sorry,
still
just
sits
tails
at
of volcanics.
180
These
degrees.
ones in front of us
Bailout
are
is
probably
still
intact.
180. Good
You
copy.
can see a few little
Thank you.
structures that are rounded.
Okay. Looks like we're pretty settled in here. So, looks like I am facing to the northwest, and I'm looking at the local high. Sirius would agree. Northwest is the local high. So it looks like just off by a little bit on that battery, but not much.
Yeah, it's not too. The depths are a little off, but the local highs look like they might be.
Well,
close.
I'm facing at the local high, and you can see that it looks
Down here?
low. Yeah. Maybe that's just some
Yeah,
one little local bump.
Looks like we might be over here.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay. Well, you want to bump Sirius towards us real quick? Towards me? Pushed out pretty well.
Yeah, so bearing 295.
So a geologist on the line,
295 sounds good.
what
yeah.
are we thinking about in terms of sampling today? What might be the best strategy?
If you want to sample. Okay, yeah. There. Just do 15 meters to get up closer for now.
Patty is waiting for Bob to respond to that question.
We don't think Bob is on the line right now. I think he'll be here soon. So, Patty, if you have a suggestion, please throw it out.
So.
Yeah, I think this looks really young. No sediment on it, whatever. Doesn't look like much manganese coating. I had dredged a rock from what Bob was calling Caldera G in 1997 and got hydrothermally altered basaltic andesite. And this stuff looks similar to the kinds of things that we picked up. So, you know, at the beginning of the
All
dive,
right,
we
you
don't know
gonna
what's going
dial
to
that ship
happen.
move in for us, or
I always recommend
Yeah, I can do that.
picking up
295, 15 meters?
295, 15.
Yeah,
at the
or
beginning of
15
the
or 20,
dive.
20 meters.
I missed that last part, Patty. Would you like to pick up a rock? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I can come down if you want to stretch out. Yeah? Okay, coming down.
Yeah.
I I would like
Bridge,
to pick
Nav.
up a rock. I think Bob would too.
Okay, I will relay that to the ROV pilots and see if now might be a good time to do that.
Oh,
well,
maybe
once
not.
they settle.
Go ahead, Nav.
Short. Yeah, do a short hop. Yep.
We're going to do a ship move of 20 meters at 295 degrees at 0.2 knots, please.
Okay, watch lead. I've got you.
Can you repeat range?
Okay, you heard me?
20
I did
meters.
hear a request for a rock.
I repeat,
There
20
is a request
meters,
for a
bearing
rock if we're not
295
gonna
at
be moving
0.2 knots.
immediately.
Good copy.
Yeah, we're gonna get the ship. I'm stretched out a little bit, so if this is a really good spot to sample, I'm gonna get the ship caught up to us. The only things in reach at this moment are kind of down in this hole. If you want things more in situ up higher, then it's gonna be 2 minutes.
2 minutes would be great. I think
Okay.
that the stuff we're looking up in the upper right hand corner,
Nav, bridge, move
or
initiated.
even just to the
Thanks,
right
Bridge.
right now, those are probably better options.
Okay. Let's see if my co-pilot.
It
Give me
does
a
look like
little
it might be
more
Ruby
slack.
Lobby, that little piece at the bottom, and actually some of the stuff on top. Yeah.
Try to give me a little tiny bit more.
Okay, coming down a little bit.
Get in here and grab something in. We'll be ready to continue on. So in here is where you're hoping?
I think so. I think this would be good.
Okay.
Patty, what do you think?
As long as something's loose.
Absolutely. I think any of those that are, appropriate size and loose
Winch is holding.
would be
Delta
great.
9.
Yep, I agree.
8.
Look at that.
So we will let our fantastic ROV pilots try to figure out where the best place to grab a rock is. Sit back, relax, enjoy our geological show.
Okay. So,
Winch is getting, or the neutral tether is really close to me.
that's alright.
Okay.
Come over here so it's a little bit less tuggy.
Yeah.
Just wedge in right here. That looks good. Trying to find a good wedge so I can poke and pry a little bit.
Looks like you're headed for that chunk of rock with the laser point on it. Looks very nice. The exposed rock off to the right-hand side has some very nice jointing, cooling fractures, and it suggests that most of what we're looking at is filler lava.
Okay. So we'll
Excellent. Thanks, Patty.
we'll poke and pry and see. Not pry, but poke. we don't want to hurt the arm or
You
move
can
the
prod,
vehicle.
not
but
pry. How's that?
yes, we will poke a little here and see if we can find something loose in this
Okay.
vicinity. But I know there's some loose rock other places around if we can't find one right this place.
Okay, great.
So
Hydraulics
spin me
coming
up.
And pilot, would you like? They're just about to the end of this one. Do you want to make another short hop to get us a little bit closer to Sirius?
Let's Sirius make that swing and
Yeah.
see where we end up. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves since we're sampling.
Looks
Okay.
like the ship started moving.
Thanks.
Excellent.
No, ship's almost done moving.
Almost done moving? Okay.
Yeah, we only did a 20-meter hop to get you a little closer. We weren't.
Okay.
Okay, that looks good. Arm is live. And we'll reach out. So I heard that some over here were of interesting.
Nav, bridge, move
Interest.
complete.
Yep.
Thanks, Bridge.
Did I hear correctly?
Yeah, I think any of the rocks in this area, if they are movable, are good options.
Well, this guy's movable. He might be big.
Boy, that's a perfect tilt fragment.
We have a couple over there that are loose. She said this one's perfect here.
I think that's what she was saying.
Okay. Let's see. Let's get it out of this mess and see how big it is, real quick.
There's a lot of really interesting structure here on these
wow.
rocks.
The shadows play. That's even bigger than I thought.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty big.
Chris says it's not that big.
Okay. Well, we'll grab it here and we'll see.
We'll pick it up. We'll take a look.
We'll put it-
Diva's reminding me that once we get them on shore or on the ship, somebody has to carry those guys into the lab.
Yeah, we'll see how big it is. If it's too big, we can. There's other options.
Fly out and do it for you.
So that's about 20
That's what Brian
That's
Kennedy
about-
is on the ship for.
That's 20 centimeters in that direction.
Okay.
That is really a beautiful piece
10 or
of
15 in that
illustration.
one.
The
It's pretty
joints
narrow.
are
This isn't too big of a rock unless you guys don't want to pick it up.
No, I think we like it. I think we're all very excited about this particular rock. If you would pop it into a basket for us, that would be great.
All right, it is.
You want to do some visuals
I'll
of
find a
it?
nice, strong
of
person to
course,
carry
yeah.
it into the lab.
Yeah, I'll pick it up in the
Like
light
Diva.
pool. Like Diva. That's funny. All right, we'll pick her up here.
Yeah, actually, and if you could do a bunch of spins on the imagery, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, of course. Tell me when you're ready to spin video.
Stand by. I'm just getting my level set here.
Extreme close-up on the rock.
Yeah.
Co-pilot, are you seeing any move on Sirius right now?
Yeah, I saw a couple meter move. I think.
Okay. Is it still moving?
I think so. Yes.
And the tether looks
Okay,
really
pilot.
happy, so we
I
don't need
winched
to
up a little
wiggle
bit,
anymore. Yeah. Good.
Video's ready.
All right. Oops, I wiggled it on you. All right. And we spin. Well, would you let me know if there's anything?
Oh.
Ooh,
Oh.
turned a little bit there on us.
I don't know about rotating too much.
Are you fear we're gonna drop it?
I believe that might be a fear, yes.
Okay. Well, it is just between two fingers. Those nice coral clippers we have, we try not to gouge them with the
Right.
rocks, so we get them in our fingertips. But
Oh,
it's all right. I've got a firm grip, I promise.
but if we don't get this one, there are no other rocks in the vicinity.
And we can't pick it up again, that's for sure.
No. All right.
Can we zoom in on those little
Yep, little white.
things
Somethings.
there?
No.
No. Okay.
Although now that we have a closer look at it, it does look like it might have some kind of manganese crust on it. What do you think, Patty?
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
It certainly does.
Okay. Video's clear.
Great. Let's get it in the starboard
I
box.
absolutely agree. Certainly does.
It's big enough, it's not going anywhere.
Bringing it in.
Thanks.
I'm here. Good work,
All right,
guys.
come on in. All right, we'll tilt down.
Welcome to the party, Bob. We just landed on the seafloor, and we are now picking up our first rock. And which one is it going into, pilot?
We're going to put it in the starboard side if that's
Okay.
all right.
That's great. Thank you.
Great. We'll tilt down so you guys have a view of it going in safely into our box here.
No, I'll look.
Probably I'm going to recall a camera preset so the colors will change on one.
Copy that. Go ahead, bring the rock box in.
Rock box outboard.
Yeah, sorry, rock box outboard.
That rock didn't look that big. I'll bet Diva could get that up the stairs with maybe 2 fingers.
The craft picked it up with 2 fingers, so I'm sure Diva can.
I don't know, Chris. I've been having some problems going up and down stairs recently.
I know the feeling well. There were plenty of times when I called upon Daniel
All right,
Wagner's
pilots, you look
younger
good.
and
Everything
stronger
target is dropped.
self to
I
carry
don't
some of the
see.
rocks
I
up
changed
for
the
us on my
sonar,
cruises
but I
last
haven't
year.
seen it change and get closer to anything. And we're about 25 meters out.
I think
from,
I've only had to have 1 rock brought up for me on this cruise. The massive rock.
about 25
that
meters out
we
from
really
ground.
probably didn't need.
So I'm
quite
thinking we
such a
can
big
get a 25 meter ship move. Kind of towards that without much.
I'm happy with 25.
Yeah, as long as
One
we know
time
this is
when we were
definitely the
dredging
ridge.
in the Marianas,
You want me
he
to
brought up
explore
a
out?
I'm gonna go look
single
around.
fill
Do you want me to
filled
explore
with
out to the north
I believe
or
that.
the east
We
to make
had
sure
to
this
put
is
up on
actually
the
the
deck.
ridge and not just a little local bump?
That'd be ideal, I guess.
Whichever.
Hey
Whichever
folks, just to
you,
note that we're hearing a lot of feedback,
you
so
guys think.
when you're
That
not
would-
talking, if
that would
you
be my
could
vote, I
just mute your
suppose.
phones,
Sorry.
that would help.
Sorry.
I don't see anything in the Sirius sonar necessarily.
Yeah.
To agree with that. So I think we're probably here.
All right, so while
Okay.
we're here, I think Diva's going to give us the introduction on what today's dive is
So
and what we plan on accomplishing.
assume the contours
And sort of our
are a little,
station
a
identification
little
for
off
the
or
morning.
Keep
Yeah.
going.
I would think.
Okay.
Okay, so we are
All
at
right.
Fina
Yeah, then
Nagu,
25 meters
Caldera
straight
D,
towards me, I think is perfect.
and
we
currently
can
at a
get lined
depth
up
of
on it.
2,970 meters.
You've
We've
got
just
watch
touched down on the
survey.
seafloor, and
No, I have them
what
off.
we plan to do today is
Try
move
turning
up
deck A
slope
off, see if things go away.
to
Okay. I bet it was that.
about 2,690
yeah,
meters.
so then let's
And
go
during
ahead
that
and call
time,
it,
we're
what do you
hoping
think,
to
25
observe
meters?
some of the geology and
Two-
also look for
290.
basically get a feel for what the biological communities are. And
Yep.
we
That
may
sounds
see some
perfect.
hydrothermal vent communities. We doubt. If we did, that would be
Copy that.
awesome. But or perhaps
Bridge,
exactly
Nav.
extinct hydrothermal communities.
Go ahead.
Can we
But
get a 2.5
regardless,
meter
we
ship
think
move
we will
at
see very
290
sort of
degrees
mature,
at 0.2 knots, please?
Biological communities because of the age of these
I
particular
repeat,
calderas.
25
But who
meters,
knows?
bearing
We've been surprised before.
290 at 0.2.
Good copy.
Okay. Just adjusting Z bias a little.
welcome,
now that we've
and thanks for
added
joining us.
20 pounds. 10 pounds, 20 pounds.
So, to recap, we have 746 meters to the point.
Nav, bridge, move initiated.
Thanks, Bridge. And we have about 5 hours to do it. It is going to get steep.
Okay.
Copy that.
Well, you're catching us up here, right? I thought I saw a whip off in the distance, but I guess.
This was just a
eyes
great
weren't
place to
fine.
touch down. So we see some,
Yeah.
obviously intact
there was
outcrops.
whip on that
We've got
face,
some
but I guess
sediment in
not.
the back. We've got a little bit of tailless floating around. Let's see what the rest of this dive
Couple
brings.
little whips. Some
So, and
bumpy
of course, a
sponge.
reminder to everyone watching, we have 2 scientists on board the ship, a geology lead and a biology lead, and that's Deb and I. And we rely heavily on shoreside scientists who are located at institutions across the US, as well as scientists who can join and log in to chats from elsewhere in
Is
the
that
world.
too noisy for you on the sonar?
We actually have quite
I
a
can
couple
change
people
it.
online helping right
That's
now.
fine.
Folks
Okay.
at the University of Hawaii ECC, folks at the IRC, also in Hawaii,
I only look to see for something
as
interesting.
well as where's Bob
I don't
Stern?
use it to fly
Bob's at the
much, so-
University of
Copy that.
Texas
Let
at
me know.
Dallas.
Yeah.
If you need it changed.
As well as a couple others, Asako Matsumoto in Japan.
Stace Bilio, I'm probably mispronouncing her last name as usual.
Bewley.
Thank you. See, I told you probably mispronouncing her name.
The snap sponge.
Yeah,
And
so
Sarah
on the
Harmer-Luke
sponge?
is from
Sure.
Stockton
Go ahead.
University.
exactly.
At your
So
command?
we have
Yep,
a
go ahead.
range of
I'll keep
scientists, both
sneaking in.
geologists and biologists,
I'll follow.
on board.
That's
Okay,
cool.
a beautiful sponge.
Sitting on top of a beautiful rock.
Just take both.
But so occasionally you'll hear different people chiming in, and those aren't necessarily scientists on board, but that's the beauty of telepresence. They can essentially provide all of their expertise to us without being on the ship.
Just got pretty bright there, didn't it?
Okay, I haven't heard any additional interest, so video's clear.
So Chris is thinking that this is a Hyalonema sponge.
All right.
When you are.
Ready to go? Yep.
Yeah, so this is
Kyle, you happy with
that we collected in
swing arms?
Hawaii. I think it's the same thing this last year.
It's going to get steep, but you can ooch out the lower ones. At least get it out of the shadow of the
And
manipulator.
if you were able to lift up that the
deploy
top
the lowers. Don't
ball
put
of the
them
thing,
straight
then
out,
you would
but
see
just-
that it's got the fibrous attachments
That way when it gets
underneath
steep, it's
which
not
is
a
characteristic
muscle
of
to
that family.
put them back for them.
Chris, I thought Hyalonemas were usually more stalked.
Yeah, well, when we first saw that sponge, we had no clue what it was. That's
deploy.
why we
Try to go
grabbed
left
it, and then we
first.
picked it
Take
up.
a look
we
at it
could
first,
see
don't you?
the stalk. It's
You
a
wanna take
very
a look at it
reduced,
before you
short, squat
deploy?
stalk right underneath that bowl. And
Yeah,
then
make
when
sure
the
they're both
sponge
pointing
got
straight
back
out
here
before you
to
move 'em.
UH, I did a spicule prep on it, and it's definitely Hyalonema. I sent these off to some of the world's experts
looks
too, the
good.
photos of the spicules, and they confirmed it.
Great, thanks, Chris.
And this is Patty. On the left side of the screen is very rosy surface of a lava flow, and on the lower, the lower left side is rosy surface. The lower right side looks like sheet flow surface, or the surface of a very large pillow tube.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
We're going to brighten it up a little down low for you, Roland.
On the
Okay.
left, maybe
I'm
Columbus
sitting over
joining
here
the
struggling with
On the
the
right, it definitely looks
colors.
like
Whether this preset seems very close to yesterday's presets in my eye. It just
Bob, I think
looks
we're getting some
green.
feedback on your line.
So I'm just, I would sort of love to take a chance to close the iris and just re-verify the blacks.
All right, let me
I'm
get it
muting
towed
when
in.
I'm not
You can go
talking.
quick now.
You say I can do it now?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, capping.
Watch the video's going to do a quick check on his camera real quick. He thinks the colors are a little tiny bit off.
Okay, so did everybody hear that? We're just going to do a quick video
Good.
check right now. So don't worry
Yeah,
if
it
one of
seems
your
to be-
streams goes black for just a
Seems
little
to be
bit.
spot on.
We know it's happening.
All right, thanks.
There's something squirrely in the top of the screen. This is Roland, video engineer, speaking to our shoreside scientists and our shipside scientists. Just keep an eye on stream 3 with the quad split. If there's anything that you guys would like to change in there that would be more beneficial to you from the shoreside, please relay that to our shipside scientists, and I can modify that as we're going along. So you guys let us know what works best for you.
Yeah, exactly. So I was going to let you figure it out before you put out your uppers.
Lower swing arms out. Pilot, we got lower swing arms out like 45 degrees. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
copy.
I know you guys on shore can't see it, but the control room's actually humming with activity. We've got some people looking over, checking to see the color balance. We've got a bunch of people wandering around in here, and we're just hanging out. So again, we're looking at isolated outcrops. We've got fairly large sediment ponds next to these guys.
All right, watch lead. Let me know if you want to see anything here.
Okay, great. So biologists, Diva stepped out for a minute, so what are we looking at? I see at least 3 different pieces of biology on or near the
Let's
rock.
do a quick zoom here, video.
Well, if we could zoom, I think it's an ophiuroid or a middle star, but maybe if we can zoom it a little bit.
Yep, there we are.
Because I may be wrong.
That's a 5-armed one?
Yeah, so this is an ophiuroid, and it looks like it's in a family Ophiacanthidae with all the spines on the arms.
Thank you. We can zoom out and move on to one of the other pieces of biology whenever video is done.
Yep, we just need to get about 8 to 15 seconds of stable video for the archives. Okay. Video's clear. Pulling out.
Is that a lava tube at the top?
You want to look at that hole there on the lower left?
Right, it sure looks like it's some sort of an evacuation from
Hey, Nav, what was the last direction of the ship move?
Well, that's cool.
It was
there's a number of
290. They must have picked that to get to the top of this little ridge.
A number of little sea star looking things on this outcrop.
Thank you.
And then there's a sponge over, I believe that stock sponge is the one on the right-hand side.
Almost north at 345 once we're settled out here.
Okay, so
I can show you guys the
go for the
head pack map
crinoid.
when we're done the zooms.
Copy that. Thank you.
So pilots, are we ready to move after we get some good imagery here? Or are we still here for a while?
We are ready to move. Sirius is getting lined up, and we'll start up slope as soon as we're done here.
Video?
Perfect, thank you.
Watch lead. Just in general, is it extremely important we get to the peak? Are they expecting something special up there?
I don't know that we need to attain the absolute waypoint, but I do think we'd like to try to move up the slope as far as we can.
Sure. It's fairly ambitious up to get all the way there, so I just wanted to know how important it was.
Yeah, I mean, I do think we'd like to at least make way. What is that? That's beautiful.
That is a
Is that a
crinoid.
crinoid? Diva walks out, right, when there's
this
fantastic
is a
stuff.
crinoid, and it's in a Matulida is what we refer to it. I think that's the suborder or the order for these feather stars, if you will. So the stock ones are called sea lilies, and the unstocked one, which this is, are called feather stars. And so you're seeing its arms all coming out. Those are the longer parts. And then right underneath the arms, you can see these little white, little stick-like things coming out from the center of it. And these are the cirri, which it uses to perch on surfaces or to grab a hold of corals for other species.
That is just fascinating, and it's really great, fantastic imagery.
All right, when you're ready.
Okay, pulling out. Go ahead and lift off and take off.
Ever seen the sponge?
We did not see.
I don't know that we have seen that one yet.
We have not seen this one. We did see
As long as
another
we're still, staying here until we are ready to move, we should certainly zoom in on it.
Okay, co-pilot, while he's zooming on that, so I believe uphill will be about 345. Oh,
No,
sorry,
it's
I
fine.
rushed.
I just don't want to talk over you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about where he is from you, so it should be okay.
So we're looking at a stocked sponge, I believe.
Okay. Pilot, you ready to call in a move? You'll have a few more
a
minutes
little
here.
more to the top.
I think we're ready to go whenever you are ready to go, if you were asking me.
No, he was confirming that I was ready to move.
But this is kind of interesting because a lot of these
Yeah, I like
they
that
tend to have a
315 there.
bend
It's
in the
perfect
stock.
on your sonar. Sorry, Copilot. It's
Because
perfectly
they
lined up
like
on your
to
sonar with the hill.
filter, the water's generally coming sideways with the current,
3-2, we'll
and
do
so
3-2.
they're kind of
Pulling
set
up
up
for
to
full
filter the
species.
water sideways. But this guy is straight up
Copilot,
and
when
down.
we have a chance, if
so
we could
I don't know if
reposition
just the
HD2
current is so light here
for
that he's not
better
bending
travel
over or
imagery.
not, but it's kind of interesting.
Sorry, Vida, you want me to do what with HD2?
Thanks, Chris. That's very
if
helpful.
we're not using HD2 for some specific purpose, we could reset
Bridge,
it.
this is Nav.
Videos full wide on ROV.
Could we get a ship move?
Did you say
30 meters, bearing
how long will that take?
320 degrees at 0.2 knots. Good copy, Bridge.
What's our heading?
320. Sirius is right on it. And in Sirius sonar, that's straight uphill.
Roger.
All right, so I think we're getting ready to move uphill. As we mentioned before, we're basically going to be trying to run along a ridge.
But yeah, take your time. It'll take Sirius a few minutes to get going.
Hey, Sean,
We
can
see
you
small scattered outcrops,
can you rotate
pretty moderate or even a little bit heavier
my
sediment.
lower
Copy that, Bridge.
swing arms outboard?
Lower swing arms outboard, absolutely.
I think they're already all the way outboard, but just make sure they're right. You don't need a lot of pressure for that.
Maybe like a third.
Like
I
you
agree,
could leave
Tara.
it
There
at.
is definitely more
You don't
sediment
need
here
any
than there was
flow. That's
previously.
the thing. Like if you notice your pressure is the same at all those, it's just your flow is different when you ramp up.
Okay.
You have more flow available to you.
So now's probably a great time to ask if there's anyone on the line who hasn't been joining us yet who'd like to talk a little bit about their expertise and interests.
Should look at that stock there,
Or not.
lower left of lasers.
Yeah, pilot. They're all the way outboard. Do you want me to deploy them anymore or keep them at that
No,
angle?
that's fine. I was just when we're going up slope, you really don't need any light in front of you because it's sloping up and all your lights are right on top of you. So you're come on in,
I
video.
think this is a crinoid, but I'll wait and see how he when he zooms in.
Come on in, video. You're come on in,
I think
video.
this is a crinoid, but I'll wait and see how he when he zooms in.
Come on in, video. It's an old sponge stock, maybe, with a crinoid on it.
Nope, wrong.
So that's an ophiuroid?
So what it is it's the dead stalk of a sponge, and it's got a brittle star on it.
All right.
I'm seeing some little growths on these sponge-looking thing, like maybe spicules of a coral. You can see that in the background if I can image it. The light of the brittle star.
Yeah, they look like or corals or maybe little hydrozoans or something like that, Roland. Can actually see in this broken stalk that the stalk is made of spicules those are the threads that are sort of interwoven. And right at the end where it broke off, you can see them frayed at the end. So that's how these sponges make these stalks.
Very cool.
Video's clear, thank you, pilot.
So, Nav, are we
Hold
almost
on
ready
your
to move?
command.
The ship is moving right now. Watch, lead.
Thank you.
Yeah, watch lead at this depth. It's
Takes a
about
while.
10 minutes, so
Hey, come on out.
as far as the ROV moving, it's just going along with the ship. So we'll just make the ship moves every 15 minutes or so.
Perfect.
Keep going. But the ROV will keep having to pause, look at things, and then move on.
Oh, how sad we have to pause and look at things.
Yes. Well, we could just do continuous moves and never pause, but
I think we'd like to pause.
yeah.
There's something white above lasers, and then off up to the right of that is
Sure,
something
just off the far up
strangely
there.
shaped like a
So we think there might be
tulip
some
sponge.
biology coming up on one of these next
Zoom in
outcrops.
video.
And what is that in our sights?
Hold that, I'm coming in.
Holding.
So are we looking at a coral?
I think so. It'd be good if we could get a little bit closer look.
Yeah, coming in for you.
Co-pilot, do you think you've started to move yet? You seen any rocks go by?
I can't say I've noticed anything yet.
Okay, I'm just trying to get an idea of the
There,
delay.
come on in.
So we can time our moves.
STY.
All right, video, if you have it, come on in. All right, video, if you have any more zoom.
So according
Smack
to
zoom.
our chat log, this may actually be a
Copy that, bridge.
stylasterid.
It's probably going to be hard for you to see back on shore, but
Would
I
anyone
can
online
see
like
the
to chime in on this one?
the little hair-like structures off the tips.
Oh, good. Okay, so we do think it's a stylasterid, which I'm probably pronouncing incorrectly, but that's life.
Yeah, Nav, I think I might notice.
Is that the closest we can get to that pilot?
I can get closer, I'm just waiting for Sirius.
Okay. Yeah. There's some details I can see in my monitor that I don't believe anyone else can see.
So they're just going to wiggle up the slope a little bit more, or along the slope.
All right, come on in, video. I'll tilt down.
That's better.
So, Deb, I don't know stylasterids at all, but we collected something last year that looks quite similar to this. We're seeing the actual backside of the colony, and the polyps are facing the other way.
Okay.
And the specimen was sent to the Smithsonian, and Steve Cairns, who's very good with stylasterids, identified it as Crypthelia. And so I'm wondering if we're seeing the same genus here.
Thanks, Chris. That's really helpful.
All right, when you're good, video.
What's the difference? What,
Video is clear
what
of
family is this,
sciences.
or is that a family?
And if
How
you
is
are.
this different than other things we've been looking at?
We'll pull out.
Yeah.
Pulling out.
So this actually isn't a gorgonian, it's a hydrozoan. It's in that group. So it has it's a very different kind of cnidarian altogether, even though superficially it's quite
do a quick zoom
similar
on this.
to some of the hard corals, scleractinians, and some of the gorgonians.
Great. I think that there was another.
Trail.
There was something in the background. If you zoom back out
Hey,
again
come
and
on
look
up, video.
towards the back right.
I think it's a
Yeah, in the background,
Yeah, in the background,
off in the distance.
up in the right-hand corner
Yeah,
right now.
another
I think
sponge.
the scientists were interested in looking at that.
Come on right in.
So pilots, if we're doing 30-meter hops, the ship takes 5 minutes to do that hop. And it seemed like
Hey,
Sirius
thanks so
starts
much
moving
for telling
about
me how to
5
pronounce
minutes.
that word.
So when the ship stops, Sirius
Pronounce it
starts.
Cnidaria.
So it's going to
Now
be
I
like
know
these
it's
staggered
Cnidaria.
to simplify, we can just say it's staggered 5-minute moves.
Yeah, so Bob, the sea's completely silent, so you just start with the end night
So
area.
it's like
and
10
that's
minutes after the ship started,
By the
Cirrus
way,
will be
this
stopped.
particular sponge is going to be yet another Hyalonema, I think, but a very different species. I'm going to have to look this one
come
up.
on in video.
But when you zoom in on it, look at the stalk in addition to the other parts, and you'll see how fibrous the stalk is. Again, it's characteristic of that family.
What are those?
Looks like your A-flat faulted. That's with the new motor parameters.
No, it's not.
Oh, they didn't load them.
They reset them because we wanted to confirm a bug in the GUI with the readout, the percent readout, and it exists in both.
Well, the stock doesn't look that hairy, but I'm pretty sure it's a Hyalonema. I think you could have some loose spicules that are coming out from the sides of it that have unraveled or something.
Come on in video.
So this is a sponge?
Yes, this is a sponge, Bob.
So they put in the
That was
old
not
ones
a joke,
to see
by the
that
way.
it's still there. So it's definitely a bug in
So
the.
they tried them last night, then put the old ones back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll put the new ones either tonight or next opportunity we get.
I got it.
And
All right,
hopefully it
come
won't
on out.
halt. Yeah, Cirrus is starting to get close.
Yes, you got to keep an eye on me there, Sean.
Yeah, I have you, pilot.
What's the purpose of those
When
hairy
you're
things
done looking,
coming out of the
you can come
stalk?
more centered if you like.
So I
I
think
only have
these
you
are
about
just
60 mic camera though, so
individual
I'm not
spicules,
too
which
Yeah,
are
but-
the sort of the
But yeah,
skeletal
Cirrus is
components
approaching
of
the
a
slope
sponge
there.
Oh, yeah,
that it
I'm
uses
coming
to
up.
form that stalk. And I think they've just come apart a little bit. It's sort of like a frayed rope, but maybe not. I don't know.
Cool.
All right, so let's see. I think we're ready for another move. Do we still think Cirrus is heading 325? Looks pretty good in Cirrus sonar.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
about what I'm
Nice
seeing in
ripples up
D2
there in the
also.
upper left.
All right.
Maybe.
Nav, as long as we're heading towards the waypoint, we're happy.
Copy that, watch lead.
Do you see the silhouette on the not the silhouette, but the
glare, kind of.
glare that's actually from the ground.
Do you want me to try adjusting any?
No,
Okay.
I mean we could turn lights off, but I mean honestly, it looks okay.
Okay.
It's hard to get rid of that because any light you're shining on the soil, it comes right back at you.
Yeah.
Bridge nav.
Hey, quick zoom here, video.
Could we have another ship move? 30 meters, bearing 325 degrees at 0.2 knots.
Do you have any more?
I think that's just a dead sponge stalk with some barnacles. Nope, some hydroids.
Good copy, Bridge.
I would agree, and I would suggest even that this is the stock of the sponge that we just imaged. You can see how the threads are kind of interwoven.
This actually aren't hydroids, so it looks like there's a tiny comatulid crinoid, then there's either sabellid polychaetes or tubed cereanthids, and then the
Copy that.
barnacles further to the right.
Okay, next move's initiated.
So a whole little community on a dead sponge stalk.
All right, lose
Okay,
mic
that's great,
to-
pilots. Happy to move on whenever.
All right, video, when you're ready.
Pulling out.
So you see how it's gone? As we come up, it'll come back in.
Yeah. Do you notice that more on sandy bottoms as opposed to rocky?
Bright bottoms. When it's like a black bottom, you don't see that as much.
Yeah.
And you'll actually see reflections too. Like as you go by stuff, you can see occasionally you see the reflection on the actual lens. I mean, you could try turning off like the lower swing arms, turning off the upper swing arms. See how that affects things.
Hmm?
I don't want to mess up the
Hold on.
video right now.
I'm double checking
It's
that.
fine.
Yeah, I mean, just tell video you're doing it, but like...
There's some other spongy-looking material.
2 seconds to do it. Come on in, video. I'd wait until I'm like zoomed out, though.
Yeah. Won't do me any good if you like that.
That's a partial. Going for the swimming thing off the lower left.
So this is a type of sponge.
Oh, Cap, go ahead, Chris.
This sponge is in the family Pheronematidae, which is very closely related to the Hyolematidae, which we just saw. And some of the things they have in common are that thread-like base. It's not a solid attachment. It's a very thread attachment site, which is called a Lophophytus attachment. And so this is in the genus Poliopogon right now.
Hey, when you're good, video.
Copy that. Pulling out.
So we're still in kind of the sandy bottom slope, but of this cone we're going up, it never quite reaches 45 degrees. I don't know if you've seen this. It's pretty cool. That's like a nice cone, but it's maybe 35 degrees max average. So usually
it should be I'd be surprised if we saw cliffs.
Yeah, usually if it's 45 or more, 45 to 50, that's when you start seeing cliffs, or just from what I've seen. But yeah, there's a chance there's no cliffs. The chance is just steady slope.
Hey, video, this is Copilot.
Go ahead, Copilot.
I just, while we're zoomed out, I just wanted to adjust some lights. So, no need to panic if lighting changes on you briefly.
Yep.
So what are you adjusting, Sean?
Yeah, I was thinking about adjusting the angle, but I might just start with just clicking one off briefly.
And work with video, see what.
Can we go see that stalked object ahead? There are two of them.
I'll pause.
Coming up on it.
Please.
All right, video, come on in.
Zooming in.
Okay, so we've got a crinoid in the foreground and not a crinoid, what am I talking about? A coral in the foreground and a crinoid with an ophiuroid in the background.
Max zoom.
Copy that. Copy that, bridge.
So Tina's identified this as a type of isidid coral, which are the bamboo corals.
So when you look very closely at some of the polyps, you will see spines in between the tentacles, and they're only on one side of the polyp. And so I'm not sure if that's enough to go to the genus Lepidopsis, but that's what Les Watling and Scott Fran be looking for right now with these close-ups.
Great. Thank you, Chris.
Okay, video's clear. Let's go for
Okay.
full image.
Yeah, let's come out.
It's not that awful impressive, so we'll just take a little bit of that and go up to the crinoid.
Right, come on in.
So this is actually a comatulid crinoid just holding on to a dead stalk. And just underneath the comatulid crinoid, you can see what I think is an Ophiocanthe brittle star. Or ophiuroid.
Smack zoom.
I think this crinoid was trying to fool us by perching on the end of a stalk. Or it has an identity crisis, one of the two.
Okay, pull for a 2-shot.
Okay, Sirius is probably about halfway through its move.
Okay, hold there for about 8 seconds more. And video's clear.
Okay, come on up.
Pulling out as you pull off.
Thank you, pilots.
You're welcome.
I'll give you a minute to get ahead, and I think we can call in another.
Yeah, I think so. Sonar is clear. I'm in a good position.
Yeah, this 330 agrees with the sonar and with HIPAC.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
All right. Bridge nav. Could we have a ship move 30 meters, bearing 330 degrees at 0.2 knots?
All right, pilot. I'm just gonna touch the turn the lever swing arms off real quick.
Sure.
Good copy, Bridge.
Don't be alarmed.
Yeah, that didn't do much.
Yeah.
Try the uppers.
Uppers.
Nah, it's all pointing out.
Pilots, I've had 2 flickers of
I had that
light.
trouble a couple
Video that was made
every day. I think it might be off the temp probe or the craft or something.
I think a lot of this is from the soil.
So if you go up a lot, it disappears.
Yeah, I mean, we can do a test in a second, but
Yeah, don't.
yeah.
I'll take a look when you go up naturally.
There's a little sponge right on the rock, just by your lasers. If we could just snap
Copy
zoom on
that.
it as we go by.
Right, come on in.
If you want.
Mm-hmm.
So this to me looks like another type of glass sponge. I'm not quite sure what type. That's great, pilots. Thank you.
All right, when you're ready, video.
Pulling out.
Okay, so Chris is saying it's a hyalinema again. The same, similar to the one we saw at the beginning of this dive. We just couldn't see the back of it to look for the spicules attaching it to the rock.
just passed over a white holothorian.
So it looks like there's another sponge on the rock directly ahead to the right of it.
All right, come on in, video.
Was this the same one we saw before?
It was not the same one, but it looks like the
Yeah,
same species.
just that we just saw the same sequence of sponge twice.
It's coming close for a second as I pass by. Yeah.
So this is the one that Chris rang in and said was a poliopogon previously.
All right, we can come out, video. Well.
Can we pull up? Can we look over to the right to see fracture filling in some of those rocks?
Come on in,
So
video.
could we zoom in on that rock that's in the middle? Remember that mesh-like structure we saw a couple of days ago? I think we're trying to look for that as well. I don't know that that's not what we're.
That looks biological.
Yeah, that's not what we were wanting to look at. What is that?
That looks like some kind of tubed home of something.
Come on up. You're all set.
Biological, what is it?
What did you want to look at?
Biology.
Was that to us pilots?
Yeah, I mean, was
Sorry.
that what you want? Was that?
No, I'm not sure that wasn't
I
what
think
exactly we wanted, but that's okay. We can keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're waiting on the ship, so anything you want to look at.
Oh, well, if
Yeah.
how far can we move? If we could just move on, move a little bit up slope and see if there's anything else there to look at.
Copy.
Biological.
Because right now we're not on the main part of the ridge, right? We're on a slope on the side of it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
We are on the top of a very flat ridge. We're heading up according to the sonars. So on HiPAC it does look like we're slightly off the ridge.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking
But
at.
we're heading up the local uphill direction, which also happens to be northwards towards the top of the cone.
Okay, so we might just be a little offset on the high pack.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And it's on HiPAC. It's a very, very flat ridge. These contours are. They're only calling for rising 10 meters over 30 meters.
Oh yeah, so it's really.
So even then, you know.
Okay. Oh look, ripple
it's
marks.
fairly flat.
Is that a fish or something?
On a lot of these dives, there's been quite a lot of sediment, and
Copy that, bridge.
you have to hope. Okay, so that's a halosaur.
Hope for what?
A halosaur fish. I keep hoping for deposit feeders like holothurians and echinoids and all kinds of other soft sediment animals, and they just don't seem to be there. But yeah, so this is a halosaur fish.
I'll do a 40. You get us towards.
I guess one of the best ways to tell is that they're extremely thin looking, and then they've also got this very characteristic end of the tail, which is always, the rest of the body is pretty straight, but then just the end of the tail is always quite sort of wiggly. Yeah, I was trying to look for a
technical
more
term?
technical term, but wiggly works.
Pilot, you were
Oh, did you
going
see what the
So
fog says?
Bruce is saying that perhaps this is the genus Aldrovanidia. Sorry. Aldrovanidia.
I
Beautiful.
misspelled that.